So last weekend we ended up kind of reworking our rabbit setup. So we raise meat rabbits, and we try our best to be able to raise those for meat. And right now we are doing terrible, just terrible. We haven't had any luck at our meat rabbits so much. We've had a bunch of failed times trying to get rabbits pregnant. We've only had 2 litters, and then we've lost quite a few of the rabbits in those litters. So we decided to kind of redo our setup. And so we made another rabbit hutch last weekend. I already got a video on building a rabbit hutch. So this one's real similar, except we ended up putting in built-in nest boxes. So and then so now most of our rabbits are out of the chicken coop. Before, our rabbits were in the chicken coop. So I just want to show you I guess how we got our rabbit set up now, and hopefully next year we'll do a little bit better. But right now things are not doing real well. So far, these are one of the most expensive things we have tried here on the homestead, and we're not getting very much benefit out of it. So we're going to give meat rabbits this whole next year, try to do things a little bit differently, and if they don't work out, we will get out of meat rabbits and probably just do chickens, because we got the chicken plucker here a few months ago. So now chickens seem to be definitely the better route, because I don't have to keep a breeding set of chickens, and keep them around all year round. Chickens, I'd be able to just, buy 25 meat chickens, raise them, butcher them, I'm done. Rabbits are different. They're upkeep. I've got like 5 or 6 rabbits that we keep here all the time. You're feeding them year round, and the cost to benefit ratio is just not working. So we're gonna give rabbits 1 more year, and I'll show you the setup we got now. So here's the rabbit hutch we built a couple months ago. It's just got 3 hutches in it. And this is where we have our 2 male rabbits. We have a male rabbit here and a male rabbit over there. And we still got an extra empty space in the middle there. So this rabbit hutch is the one we just built. So instead of having a hutch in the middle, we got 2 nest boxes in the middle that are open to the 2 hutches on the side. So just got basically a permanent spot for a nest box, so that we can breed in the winter time, and it'll be a nice place to keep the baby bunnies out of the wind. So if you look in here, see, this is like a little nest box area. We just got a hole in the side that the bunny can come through, and so that's kind of our new setup. So these are permanently made for our female rabbits, with these built-in nest boxes. So this rabbit hutch ends up being about a foot longer than the other rabbit hutch. Now this rabbit here, see, we've already bred both of these rabbits. This rabbit here, she's already wanting to make a nest. Like a week later after being bred, she's already got fur pulled and laid in here. So she looks like she's gonna be a good mama. So before, we had these store-bought bunny cages here, and they had the little tray on the bottom, and that tray on the bottom would catch their poop and pee, and then you would have to try to, like empty that or do something with that. And that was the part of these whole cages I didn't like. We had these in our chicken coop, and the door, it was actually narrower than those trays. So then you'd have to wrestle those trays and to try to get them out the door. It wasn't very easy, and so didn't really like that setup. So the cages we have now, all the stuff just falls out here on the ground, and the wind kind of helps dry everything, so it's not sitting there all moist. Those trays would just kind of hold the urine. They were super nasty to deal with. I don't know how anybody would ever keep a rabbit in their house. It is just nasty. So this is way better. I like this better. We just take a flat shovel, we'll scoop all this up, throw it in a wheelbarrow, and take it to the compost pile. So I definitely like dealing with the manure landing on the ground rather than in the trays. So here in the chicken coop, we still have 1 bunny. This is Alice 2.0, aren't you? And I think that we've actually lost some of her babies to some of the chickens in here, because she won't use a nest box, and she just builds a nest on the ground, so then the babies end up all over the place. And we think we've had some of them pulled through the cage wire by the chickens. So chickens are omnivores. They will eat rodents and other small animals, frogs and stuff like that. So chickens are kind of a predator to the rabbits, so that's kind of a bad point of having them in the chicken coop. The good thing is they're secure from all the other animals. So coons and stuff can't get to them. And when we did have some of these outside, her outside the cage, or outside in the pole barn, we had a coon actually pull baby rabbits through the wire, and we lost some rabbits to coons when we had them in the pole barn. So I think we're going to have a lot more luck with this style of nest box. So you can tell the nest box is totally enclosed. There's no way for a predator to get in there and get to the baby bunnies. They're protected from the weather. And we use smaller cage wire on these newer cages, so it's a lot harder for the animals or any animal to reach in there. If you noticed on the cage I just showed you in the chicken coop, it has 1-inch squares, and that's small enough for a coon to be able to reach into. So I think we'll have a lot better luck raising our baby bunnies in this style of rabbit hutch. So far I'm actually liking these outdoor cages. I like the cleanup on them a lot better, and we've built these cages basically in mind that they're going to go in the bottom of the bank barn. So in the lower level of our bank barn has animal stalls. We're going to build our chicken coop in there and move all our animals out to that barn, have them in one location. So these hutches are kind of kept in mind that we're going to move those out to the bank barn later and go inside the bottom level, and that'll also help protect the rabbits from the elements and from any predators. So we are raising our rabbits just for meat. That's the only reason we have our rabbits. And to kill our rabbits, I've never kind of gone over it. I won't show it on a video, but this is how we kill our rabbits. This is what you call a rabbit ringer, I think, is kind of one of the names for it. And the way that works is you just take the bunny's head and you take its neck and you slide it in here till it's in this narrow part. And then you just pretty much yank down on the bunny really hard, and it breaks its neck. And it's actually very quick. I mean, it's just like a second. It's done. It's over with, and it's even quicker than killing bleeding out a chicken in a killing cone. So I think it's one of the most humane ways to kill an animal. It's quick, and they don't really feel anything. So pretty instantaneous. So as far as meat rabbits is concerned, the only reason we're doing it is for food, and it's got to be economical. It's got to, and right now it's not. I mean, we're not getting we're having failed litters. We're only getting about half the bunnies out of the 2 litters. Only had 2 litters this year. I think we've only butchered like 4 rabbits, and then we kept some for future breeding moms. So we went from 1 breeding rabbit, so now we've got 3. And so they're old enough to breed, and so this next year hopefully we'll see if we can actually be able to produce meat at a cost-effective way. If not, we'll get out of rabbits and move on to something else. But we're gonna give it one more shot with the meat rabbits. This is kind of our setup. Probably try a rabbit tractor in the summertime to be able to raise the meat rabbits up to butchering weight when they can be weaned from their mother. All year long I've been tracking my expenses, everything that I've spent on rabbits, not just food, everything I spent on hinges and hardware and everything to build hutches. And so I got it all broke down into everything that we've spent on rabbits and chickens and all that stuff, and I kind of know how much we spend on food for our animals, and I kind of know how much we spend on the extra things like the heated water bottles and heated bowls and all that thing. So I'll be able, at the end of the year, I'm going to break it down and I'll just show you how much money we've spent on these rabbits. It's crazy how much money we're spending on rabbits, and then hopefully at the end of next year we'll do the same thing and we'll come out in a better light than we are this year. But I mean, if you wanted to make it work on the, it's got to be cost effective. So we are tracking it all so that we'll be able to tell how well we're doing. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. I just thought I'd show you what we're doing with the rabbits. We're going to try to do some different things this year and see if it works. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.